This is the annual commemoration of the events of those three and a half months in 1940. Our objective as a trust is to keep the memory of that great battle, equivalent really of the battles at Trafalgar and against the Spanish Armada in preventing invasion of Britain by foreign powers.
Present arms!
I think it's vital that we remember the sacrifice, the enormous sacrifice that was made to keep us free all those years ago. People often write history as though the outcome was inevitable. There was nothing inevitable about 1940. And if it hadn't been for the fantastic courage and bravery and sacrifice which those young men made at that time, we might not be free even today.
I was Pilot Officer Bob Foster, 605 Squadron. At the start of the battle we were up in Scotland. 605 had taken a caning over Dunkirk and so on, went north to reform. That's when I joined them. And we came down to Croydon on the 7th of September, the day they blitzed the East End. They broke through for the only time, came up the Thames and plastered the East End on the 7th. Yeah, and that was our welcome to the battle when we flew in to see London burning.
My name is Tony Iverson. In 1940 I was a sergeant pilot with 616 Squadron on Spitfires. My very first patrol was over the North Sea on a convoy patrol when we chased a Junkers 88. I was a bit slow being a new boy, so when I got there the 88 was on its own with one engine on fire, and the air gunner clobbered me just as I was going to clobber him. And eventually I finished up in the sea, having to ditch a Spitfire, fortunately alongside a convoy, so they dragged me out.
I started as a sergeant pilot. I finished up as a squadron leader, 602, a city of Glasgow. Didn't get shot down, but I got shot up and out over about 10 miles out to sea. And I was getting my feet on the seat, and the hood back and ready to jump. And suddenly found the thing was still controllable, and I managed to get it back to West Hampton, but only just, and it had no brakes and no flaps, and so I think it went away for a year for repair.
My name's Tom Neal, and I'm with 249 Squadron during the Battle of Britain. Well, the battle, as far as I'm concerned, because I was 19, was rather a strenuous game of rugby. With the penalty, instead of being a broken leg, was being killed. But we lost 8 killed and about 20 wounded, hideously wounded, burnt, etc., in those 16 weeks. In fact, I'm now the only one left of the original squadron.
Behind each name, a story lies of bravery in summer skies. There are many brave, unwritten tales were simply told in vapor trails. Many now lie in sacred graves, and many rest beneath the waves. Outnumbered, every day they flew, remembered here as just a few. The 3 of us, Yellow Section, was scrambled on August 26 to patrol Dover Dungeness at the height of the battle, and we met a whole squadron of 109s. My leader, Teddy Storming, was shot down and very badly burned, but he survived, but was killed later. Sergeant Ridley, who was a great friend of mine, and we'd flown a lot of sorties together, was killed. And I got a bullet in my leg and my plane was shot to pieces, so I had to bail out.
At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them.
Never in the field of human conflict was so much owed by so many to so few.
I'm heartened and encouraged. I think there is quite a lot of interest on the part of the younger generation in what happened, and I think we have to foster it and nurture it and hope that it survives, which I think it will.
It is now 70 years since the Battle of Britain, and I think that's very important that we do try and educate the children about this, because it's obviously a pivotal moment in British history, and one that all generations should be proud of, and especially the younger ones coming through. And it's our responsibility really to pass on the memories of the people who were there in the Battle of Britain.
Thank goodness that some of the younger children who go to school are being taught about the Battle of Britain now, and we do get questions from these youngsters of 14 and 15 years of age, and they ask for photographs and they want to know what happened. I'm rather pleased about that.
I hope it's taught at schools. Certainly it's one of our ambitions here at Capel Fern to give them a centre where they can come and learn a bit more about it, because it was, in our view, and I think in many people's view, the pivotal moment of the 20th century. So I hope people are taught that.
I very much appreciate events like this and how they are used for that, to educate each generation, to keep the memory alive. Hitler had success everywhere until the Battle of Britain, and what it meant to, as Churchill said, the future of democracy.
We saw the Spitfire flying today, and it's still a magical sound, a magical sight, isn't it? It's quite emotional, I think, when you see that thing flying.
When you consider the sacrifices made by the pilots during the period, it just seems suitable or appropriate to come along for the day and take part in the celebrations.
Come here to pay tribute, to pay homage to the pilots, the significance of the event. And what have I thought of the day? I've thought it was wonderful.
There aren't a lot left. There are about 80 or 90 of us still alive out of 2,947. And I think you'll probably see here 17 or 18 of us on our feet. We're on our feet with sticks. These are really to beat off the girls, you understand?